Name that riff. Hey, everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast for Friday, October 30th, 2020. Let's talk about humility in Mark chapter 8. I've been thinking about this story for the last couple of days, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Here's the story. They, meaning Jesus and his disciples, came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hands on him, Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" He looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were opened, his sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. Jesus sent him home, saying, "Don't even go into the village." And that's the word of the Lord. I've been off RadCast all week because I had a pretty nasty eye infection, and I won't go into great detail. I won't even show you a picture of my eyes, both of which had basically pink eye, but more on the red side than the pink side. Super irritated, couldn't see anything, couldn't even look at screens for more than a few seconds. Daylight was alarming to me. I was like Dracula himself. I came up with an artistic rendition of what that might have looked like, just to show you what it felt like to have my eyes for the past week. It felt really, really, really bad. And I know I could not see as far as Sauron. I just wanted to kind of sleep. So it's been a strange week for me. And as this whole week went on and I couldn't watch things, I couldn't do meetings and stuff online, and because of the screens, I couldn't even watch movies, I couldn't even read. I've been thinking about this story, and it's the story of the man who is brought to Jesus by the community, and Jesus heals him, but he does it in 2 steps. And I never thought about this before, but why does it take Jesus 2 steps to get him healed? The first step is, Jesus spits on the guy's eyes, which is a totally strange thing to do outside of the context of this story. And he touches the guy's eyes and he says, "Can you see?" And the man says, "Sort of. I see trees walking around." Now, I don't think that Jesus was like, "Oh, I messed it up. Let me try it again." Because Jesus doesn't make mistakes. Everything he does is on purpose, right? I think that Jesus does this 2-step healing process as an illustration of how you and I are in the process of being healed. Now, I'm not talking about our visual eyesight, our physical eyesight, though I have learned not to take that for granted, especially this week. I'm talking about our spiritual eyes. Over time, Jesus is slowly but surely healing us, giving us his view of the world instead of our own. And sometimes it's an instant thing, and sometimes it's sort of grace and change and renovation over time. Jesus is always at work in us. The prayer that we have is, "Jesus, help me to see the world as you see it in a new way today." And that's where hindsight truly becomes 2020. We look back and we say, "Man, I saw it this way back then, but now I see it this way now." That's a sign of his grace and his ongoing healing. Don't take your physical vision for granted, and certainly don't take the eyes of your heart for granted. That, my friends, is the way it goes, and that's RadCast.